Harris here with Alabama MMA. I'm here with Mingo Holcomb. Mingo, you got a big fight coming up tonight, man. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know much about you, but you're fighting Wes Dunlap. It's his last MMA fight he's announced. So, are you gonna put him out with a loss?
That's the game plan. I definitely came to win. I've been in retirement, semi-retirement, for a couple of years myself. I've been in the game a long time, about 12 years altogether, and done a lot of extensive training. So just can't wait to fight, get back in there. Just looking to have a victory. So.
Well, Mingo, I hear a lot about you, man. I hear you're an excellent fighter. You got tons of experience, and everyone says you can take a beating and still come out on top. So. I've had the pleasure of seeing Wes fight several times. Do you think, even coming out of retirement, like you said, after you coming off a big break, do you think you still have that stamina and that still go-get-'em attitude?
I believe so. During the retirement, I never really laid off as far as training. I still train fighters and was in the gym 2-3 times a week all during that layoff. So it's not like I just went home and hung around, mowed the yard, and sat at home on the couch. So I've been in the gym. I still feel good, strong as ever, and just ready to go.
Man, you look to be in great shape. I don't talk a lot about hometown favorites and things like that, but man, I got to tell you, walking around, I've seen a lot of MMA Unlimited shirts, and that's where you train. Do you think you'll have the support base here? Do you think you'll have the hometown favorite feel?
I think so, and hope so. You always try throughout your career to get a big fan base and see the crowd enjoy it and really get into the mixed martial arts, and that's always been my goal throughout my career. So yeah, I'm really tickled, and I've got a great crowd, great fan following. So I really appreciate those guys. They pump you up, help more than they realize.
Now, you talk about being pumped up. Is this a fight that, a lot of these fighters that are very experienced like yourself, they tend to just kind of be cool, calm, and collected before a fight? Are you excited? How long has it been since you've been in the cage?
It has been, like I say, right at 2 years. So I fought Sean Hall in Birmingham on a Butterbean show. So it's been 2 years, and but I've had a lot of experience. I'm like 15-1 as an amateur. I've done a lot of grappling. I've won one Naga as far as no-gi jiu-jitsu. So as far as competition, I'm not really. May not be showing nervousness or excited. It's kind of like a controlled chaos. You try to keep everything bottled up until they say, "Hey, that's your music, and it's time for you to come out." So then you try to cut loose. So.
Well, man, we're looking forward to seeing you cut loose. I'm going to try to get the winner back here for a post-fight interview. I'd love to have you back if you do, in fact, come out on top. I wish you the best of luck. Mingo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's Jake Harris with Alabama MMA with Mingo Holcomb. Come see us. Hey guys, Jake Harris here with Alabama MMA. I'm here with Wes Dunlap, one of the pro fights tonight. I believe it's the co-main event. Wes, you have Mingo Holcomb coming up, man. It's your second pro fight. You excited? You nervous?
Nah, I'm not really nervous. I'm excited because it's a fight that I've been asking for probably 5 years now. And we've been set to fight once before, but he had something come up, had to pull out. So I'm really excited to get this fight. I mean, it's definitely going to be an all-out war. He's a nice guy. He's a great guy. Probably one of the most top-level competitors that I've been in the cage with yet. So.
Well, I've had the pleasure of seeing you fight several times. I know you're a big stand-up artist. Your striking is unreal. But it's my understanding you train in 10th Plan Jiu-Jitsu in Decatur, is that right?
I do. I just recently started that gym, and it's worked out great so far because, as people know, in the past I've had problems with going to the ground, and being submitted a few times. So I mean, I took the weakest part of my game and started building on it, just for tonight. I want tonight, to be an all-out war, whether we're on our feet or on the ground, So I mean, I'm prepared.
Now you have a lot riding on this fight. This is, I follow you on Facebook. I keep up with a lot of stuff. You've been saying for a long time that this is your last fight. That tonight, after tonight, win, lose, or draw, you're retiring.
This is my last fight. Win, lose, or draw, no matter what. Ever since I started, not a lot of people, really got to know me and who I truly am, and what I come from. All they said was, there's that crazy guy who fights so much. We see him at least 3 days out of the week, in a fight somewhere. But there's a lot more behind it. And, during the past year, you know, I've come to realize, you know, that I need to better myself, you know, and as much as this sport has taught me, you know, it's also taught me that family is more important than anything, you know, so I want to step away for a while after this fight. If I do come back, I don't know, you know, but I want to step away, you know, and get my priorities straight, you know, and, you know, be with my family and be able to provide, you know, this, you know, fighting it right now, it doesn't pay the bills. You know, as much as I love the sport and the competition, you know, your family comes first.
Well, you know, you're taking a big step to step away from the sport that you love and the sport that loves you. I mean, I know you've been involved with it for at least 6 years, I know of, and I know I've seen you compete in Taekwondo events. I've seen you compete in the cage. I've seen you compete all over the place. I followed you a long time, and it's going to be a pleasure to watch you tonight. How do you think you're going to finish it? Is your jiu-jitsu strong enough to finish it on the ground?
You know, hopefully we don't go to the ground. I don't want to. You know, anybody that knows, hey, I want to knock him out. You know, that's what I'm looking for. But you know, you got to prepare for the worst. You know, and if we do go the distance at some point during this fight, we are going to hit the ground. You know, but I might surprise him. You know, you never know. I might catch him in an armbar or something. You know, I'm looking to surprise everybody tonight. You know, I'm not all about striking. You know, I do love the ground game. It's just I've been so caught up in striking. You know, I leave it out a lot.
Well, Wes, you're a guy that loves to bang, man, and you know, you said earlier you've been asking for this fight for quite some time, and it almost hooked up earlier.
Long time.
So, I mean, I can't help but ask. I mean, have you had a game plan for several years, or I mean, have you wanted to fight the guy this long?
You know, I don't really have a game plan, to be honest with you. I mean, I've only seen Mingo fight one time. You know, but outside of that, I've heard people talk about him, and they've talked about him for years. You know, how good he is, how quick he is. You know, Mingo's this, Mingo's that. You know, and I'm the type of person, when I hear somebody hype somebody up like that, you know, I want to fight them. I don't want to get somebody that nobody knows, you know, and has no credentials in the cage with me. You know, if I'm going to be beat, I want to be beat in style by somebody who actually knows what they're doing. You know, so when I started asking for this fight, you know, people were telling me, man, you'd be a huge underdog, you know, and Mingo's good, you know, you'll get beat up, don't do that. You know, that's not what this sport is about. If you have a pure love for this sport, you're willing to step up and fight the best of the best. Because if you're not willing to do that, don't consider yourself a fighter in my book. You know?
Well, you've all heard the definition of fighter from Wes. Him and Mingo tonight. We're going to catch up with the winner after the fight goes down. So be sure to tune back in for the post-fight interview. Wes, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, Jake Harris with
ya.
Alabama MMA. Thanks a lot.